Tice, I am so thrilled to have you here. You have been coaching women through some of the biggest roadblocks that are keeping them from building their business. I would love to dive into that today. If you are a coach who's looking to build your business, I want to tell you that you're going to be inspired by what you hear today. Tice is a former client. She now is our success coach inside of the Business Building Boutique. Tice, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about you.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. And I'm here today as this past client. So it's very, very exciting to show up this way here. I'm Thais Glenn. I am from Brazil. You can ask my name, how to pronounce my name as many times as you need to. I never get offended. And I live in Boston with my 3 little kids and my husband. And I've been a coach for about 6 years now. It's always during the 2020 when we had all that craziness. That's when I decided to get certified, and it was amazing. And I'm just now finishing up the certificate, all the final tests with ICF to receive my PCC. So I'm very excited. I've been coaching for over 500 hours, which is amazing. And that's where I am. That's a little bit about me.
So, who do you coach, Tice, in your private practice? We'll talk about what you do for me, but who do you currently coach?
Yes, this is a niche that I really had. The idea in my mind was pretty perfect, but it wasn't until I came to work with you, Debbie, that when I explained my niche, you just told me exactly who I coach. And that was my first cue that you are pretty good. So I coach women who have a picture perfect life and they're stuck in a rut. And that was me for many years. And I've seen many other women, even outside of coaching, where they have everything they could possibly dream of, but they're stuck. They feel like there's not full happiness or fulfillment or contentment. They want more, but they don't really want that other thing. So that's what we do. We get them out of this rut. And that is the name of my podcast too, Get Out of the Rut, because it's so difficult to have everything absolutely picture perfect and you feel stuck and there's no one you can really talk to because, I mean, who can understand that, right? Who can understand that? You have it all. Why are you complaining? So if you are someone like this, if you even, building the business, I mean, how many times you see this? You have everything that you need to build the business and you're still stuck in a rut, right? That's what we do in my private business, but also with Debbie. And I know we'll talk about this. Those women that come to work with us, they have everything, but if they're stuck in their own mindset, how can we change, reframe, or shift a little bit of what they do to build the business they actually want to have? So that's what I do. And I coach on future self. That is my main framework. It's, stop looking at your past, even stop looking at your present. Like a lot of times you're so focused on how difficult life is today that we forget we can actually build the future. So we do a lot of this work inside of my future self mindset program.
I love that. I love all the future self stuff.
Yes.
Okay, I want to go way back, Tice, because for women that are listening, I feel like there are so many things that you have done in your business. I kind of want to take you through your journey the way I see it, because women will relate to what you've done, the investments that you've made, sort of your journey. And I think almost feel validated by like, oh, somebody else has done this. So let me go way back to we both went to the life coach school originally for certification. And so that's kind of the foundation of us understanding each other and our coaching initially. We actually connected because you were in a program with a coach that I don't want to say her name, with a coach that was working on building a business. She was helping you build your business. You had hired her for that. I also, interestingly enough, had hired her. We were not in the same program, but I had hired her as well. So you made a significant investment in this particular woman to build your business. So I'd love to talk about that portion of your journey, because I think so many people are listening right now and they're like, I've spent so much money on trying to get this thing done. And I still don't have a business. So would you share about that?
Yes. And I don't really like the idea of you need to spend money to make money, even though in the back of my mind it's like, well, yeah, but It's not just about investing the money. It's really understanding what you believe that you need at that time and going for it. And again, Life Coach School, it's not an expensive program. It's quite pricey. So it's already hard to invest so much. And then when you get out of it, you're like, oh no, I still can build my business. Like, I don't know how. Literally, I truly thought that clients would come to me after I was certified. Like, that was a belief that I had that then later on, I noticed how naive that was. And hiring other coaches, and I mean, the one you're mentioning here right now, it's one of them. And it was 5 figures that you spend. And then there was another one. And again, I love her, but it wasn't the program for me. It didn't have a specific step by step of this is what you do first, this is what you do second. It was pretty much what would you like to get coached on today? And it's like, I don't know. You tell me. I don't know how to build a business. So I hired another one that it wasn't 5 figure, but it was pretty close. And she was amazing and she was 101, but she was coach. I hired her to coach me in my business. But then because I was having some trouble with my marriage, we kind of shifted a little bit and started coaching on my marriage, which I understand, right? Especially looking from today back to what happened. I understand if my marriage is falling apart, I don't have the strength, or at least I didn't have the strength there to create my business. But after I finished the 6 months with her, I still did not have a business. I had a marriage, which is amazing. I appreciate the help, but I did not get what I hired her to do. And plus all the courses that I have bought, we laugh sometimes when I open my Kajabi and it's like lists and lists of everything that I have bought. Many of them I've never even watched it. So yes, I see those things and a little part of me is like, aren't you ashamed of that? I was like, no, really, because that was the process that I had to go through to become the person that I am today, period. So was it a waste of money? Not at all. Some of those could be, but then we learn how to look at this differently, right? So how can I look at this? And not because it's good or bad, but because if I look at spending all that money as what a loser,
A waste.
a waste.
It just hurts you.
Yes, you don't feel confident of spending more money. But when you look at this, it's like, okay, I learned that. And some of the questions I asked you in our consultation call was specifically because I had hired a group coach and it was not for me. So with you, I wanted to hire you privately. And when you said you don't do private coaches, like, so it's not going to work. But now I had the questions to ask, right? How are you going to help me in a group setting where I just don't want to come in and be asked what I want? I want you to tell me, this is the step we were working today. This is what you need to do. Did you do it? Right? And that's why I trusted you, because I had, quote unquote, wasted money in the past with experiences that really didn't work well for me.
Well, let me just reiterate that so that the coaches that are listening who are like, oh, yeah, I have spent all that money. I sincerely believe that too. I think we've all in our journey, if you're not investing in coaching yourself, I don't want to say you don't have the right, because you have the right to do anything, but like it's difficult to ask somebody else to pay you and to successfully get that result, I believe, if you've never invested in yourself. I think we could go back, Thais, through all the clients that we have, the ones who have paid money for coaches, they can get paid, right? They just have a different experience because they know what the value of coaching was. So for sure, all of that is just an expense in learning. And you can either say like, wow, I spent a lot of money, or you can say like, wow, I was really willing to invest in myself and stay with this until I figured it out. And I did, right?
And something I learned from you, just watching you and some comments that you make every now and then, things that you refuse to think that you have wasted money or time when you invest in yourself. And we've had this conversation a couple of times, like, how about this person? Are you sure you didn't waste your time there or your money there? And you're like, no. And here's what you say: I will get everything that I came to this program to get, no matter what. And you
Yeah.
do it, right? You really go in and you do the journal prompts, even when you don't think that is appropriate or cool or helpful, and you do it anyways. And you do get your money's worth with all the questions you ask, all the work that you put in. And I think that is a mindset that it's very different than what I had prior. That was such a waste of money. I shouldn't have wasted this money. It's like, no, you come in and you get whatever you came to get.
Well, the question becomes, while you're in that situation of like, okay, I have made a mistake in this purchase, you could say that and then be like, not show up to the coaching, or you could say, like, okay, I invested some money here and this is clearly not what I thought, which I did that twice last year. But I got to figure out how I can get my money's worth out of this. I got to figure out how I can go work in this program with like 99 men and me that were investment advisors, that were like in all kinds of businesses that had nothing to do with me, that were not doing online marketing, that it was the biggest mismatch ever. But I had to say to myself, Lord, how am I going to get my money's worth out of this thing? I need to make sure that I recoup. And there's got to be somebody in here that is going to give me something that's going to change my business. So, just a word to the wise. That's a better way to look at it.
Yes, that's right.
So, Thais, tell me about your experience in coming to work with us. I'd love to have you share that. And it's a fun story about how and when you decided to work with us and also how you paid for it.
Okay. Yes. We certified in the same school, and that they had a little group, like a Slack group. What is it? Is it Slack? I don't know. It was some group that we would offer free coaching, or we would talk about a workshop or whatever it is. And I saw you there and you were offering free coaching. Now, I do not take the BS marketing, like the bro marketing idea or the manipulation. Like I can't. I can't deal with that. So when I saw you and you were, like this beautiful woman, very elegant, and you were saying things like, I will give you a business assessment, I believe, for free. And I was like, oh, this little woman, she wants to trick me and she wants to get me on a call so that she can sell me something. I won't let that pass. And like my intention was like total to just trick you. And I will show her that that is not okay. And that is my personality. Like I'm that petty that I would get on a call with you just so when you sell me, I would say that is not okay. And anyways, that's just my little things that I do. So I got on a call with you and you were amazing. Like just amazing, professional, on time, that you would be surprised how many consultation calls you have with people 5-10 minutes late, and then there's not even an apology. And I was just in awe with the whole thing. And that was, you were the same person from your social media, from the videos that I have watched, from that group, right? The same person came to the call. That was already impressive. And then you talked to me a business assessment. I didn't even have a business, right? Like I thought I had a business. And it wasn't until you point out to me the gap, the what was missing here. So yes, just you are posting on social media, but you're not really posting anything. It's just some graphics that you put there or selfies, but there's no depth. That there's nothing there. And anyways, the I don't even know, 30, 45 minutes we spent together blew my mind. And I had been already working with different coaches in the past, and I seriously got more from you in that consultation business assessment call than I got most of the programs that I had been, because you're so direct and you're so specific on what I needed to do. So when I get out of there and I asked you, I was like, how can I work with you? And I wasn't even tricking you in that part. It's like, actually, I want to work with you. And your answer blew my mind. And your answer was, this is not a consultation call or a sales call. This is a business assessment call. And that's what I delivered to you. If you would like to know how to work with me, please schedule a consultation call. And I'll be more than happy to sit down with you and talk. And I was like, who does that? Literally, the opportunity to have the sales call, and you have so much integrity that you will hold yourself back to say, this is not what I came here to do. What I did come to do was this, right? Give you a business assessment, and you deliver that. And you made sure to let me know that that was delivered. Now, if I want something else from you, I need to come to another call. Who does that? I don't know anyone else, right? That does that. Those are the little things. That is how I want to sell my own business, because, you were selling me. You're selling me with your integrity. You're selling me with your process. that to me was one of the biggest, like the integrity that you showed up with was really amazing to me. I hadn't seen this before. Okay, so I couldn't even hire you anyways because I had just signed up with another coach and I told you that. And you don't like working with people who has another coach in the program because it just messes things up, which is also another sign of integrity. You could just be getting the money anyways, and you're like, it's not going to help the client if they just get confused.
Over the years, the amount if somebody was listening to some of the things that I do in my business, they would literally advise me like, "Are you nuts?" Because last week I told somebody, "Look, you're working with somebody else right now. I'm not even gonna make an offer to you because I will not work with people who are working you've already invested. You gotta get your money's worth out of that investment before you come to work with me. If you don't get what you want out of there, then I'm available and let's talk." But most people would be like, "You're crazy," but you're right. It's because, like, if you've already spent a few $1,000s with somebody else, for goodness sakes, get your money's worth out of that, and then let's see where you land after you're done with that.
Yes. Right. And again, another sign of integrity, which, as I said in the very beginning, that is very important to me. That's what I don't really like, the bro marketing or manipulation. So I told you that I couldn't work with you right then. I had already. And I remember where I was. And not too long ago, I found the video. I sent it to you,
Yes.
the little Loom video, because, something else that you teach in the program is that after a consultation call, keep the relationship going. It's not because the client said no to you that you just shut it out. So you sent me a Loom video. That was the first time I saw that. And it was maybe a couple of months after we talked. And you're
Mhm.
just like, just checking in. And just and I saw that. I was like, wow, that was pretty cool that you're a busy woman and you thought of me and right. And you sent me a message, a personal message just for me with things that we talked on that consultation call. So, of course, as a busy mom, I was already working with another coach. It's a coach, I don't know, asking me to how I'm doing. I didn't answer and I really didn't respond. And then I needed to do a freebie. I needed to learn how to do this freebie for my own business. And this coach that I worked with, she said, like, this is how you do, boom, 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 go do it. And I was like, but I don't know how. And I was walking around the house, only if I had someone that would actually like tell me how, give me really like just be very specific. And your voice came to me. You used to call yourself the action coach because that is a little saying from the Life Coach School. And you're like, I am the action coach. I'll tell you what to do. I'm not coaching mindset. I'm gonna tell you what to do. I was like, that's what I need. That right there. And I got my phone. I found your Loom because it was easy to find. And I send you the Loom and I said, I'm ready to work with you. So tell me what I need. And I did not tell her that I was still working with the other coach because I knew she wouldn't say yes to me, but I needed her. I needed your help. And I said this, I just watched this Loom not too long ago. And I said, I know you mentioned that your VIP program, you have some payments. I need to take that option because I really don't have money, but I can, get money for one payment. And I don't know how I'm going to pay you the rest, but that's okay. We're going to figure it out. And I will pay you because I don't do that, but I don't know how. And I sold some of my photography gear. I used to be a photographer, a few years back, and I had all those lenses and cameras and right studio lighting. And I sold it. I sold most of my things to pay for the coaching. That was my way of you're gonna go all in. Like if this is what you're deciding, this is the woman who will truly help you. You need to go all in. You do whatever needs to be done, and you get this business built. So I don't see you as my last resort. It wasn't the last thing that right? But it was what I trusted the most. And again, that trust came because I did spend money with other coaches that helped me in some ways, but I was so much more aware of what I actually needed from you because of the experience that I had before.
Oh my gosh, there's so much we could talk about here. Tell me about your goals, Thais. At that time, what was it that you wanted to do in your business, or maybe prior to you working with me, coming out of certification? What was your dream and what were you aspiring to do and to become?
Six figures. That was,
That was it. That was it
yes,
at the life coach school. That's all they preached about
yes,
somewhere. Oh, I don't have them up here anymore. You got awards, Tiffany Awards for reaching six figures. And I'm telling you what, everybody wanted to get there. I used to have them on my shelf. Yeah, six
yes.
figures.
That was the number. That was the, didn't really have any meaning behind that other than I need to be a six-figure coach. And I was just willing to do whatever I needed to do to get that six figures, right? And I went to the life coach school, and my idea was to work for other coaches. That's,
Mhm.
one of the things that they teach a lot is that you can either coach for yourself and have your own business, or you can coach for other people, especially for them, for their school. And that was my dream. I really wanted to work for them. That's what I got certified there. And I didn't get hired. I finished the certification, and it was a lot harder than I thought it would be to get hired in a school. And to be fair, looking back, I wasn't hireable. I wasn't the type of person, not a coach. Like, I knew how to coach, but I wasn't the kind of person that would actually be. It's so sad to say this or so weird, but I don't think I would be a good employee, right? Working for them, because I didn't know how to portray myself. I was
Mhm.
still being Thais, who was becoming the coach, right? The stay-at-home mom, the photographer who was becoming a coach. And that's not who were they hiring. They were hiring the confident coaches that not only knew how to coach, but had that self-confidence to sit
Yeah.
up straight and talk clearly. All of those things, looking back, I can see that that is why I wasn't hired, and that's okay. But my big dream was that. My big goal was six figures. And then the biggest goal, and I just mentioned one of our calls not too long ago, how I found my very first was a vision board. And I had there this whole path that was me working for a six-figure coach, like a 500,000-ish coach. And I would take that business to the next level. I would be, the one who came in and helped that coach to come to seven-figure. And I had an idea of who the coach would be. And today, like I tell you all the time, you are my love attraction. You are my manifestation. I manifested you in such a way that you actually fulfilled my vision board. And I think that is beautiful to me.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. So to put this in perspective, Tice is talking about not getting hired at the life coach school. And while she's correct, she needed to be a confident coach and there were some few other pieces that needed to be adjusted. But in reality, the perspective that needs to be shared is I don't know how many people that the life coach school was certifying at the time. And I have to say, while that was a very big investment to me, it was worth every single dime and more. I could never even put the value on what I got from there. But at the time that you were hoping to have a job there, it had been presented. And I don't think she intentionally presented it this way, but she just talked about like there's opportunity as a coach to work for the life coach school, to work for another coach. Like you don't have to be a coach and have your own business. You
Yeah.
can be a coach and work for a corporation. Like that's the way that it was presented was you get the skill of coaching and you'll be hired in a job or career as a coach. So you were really competing. I don't know at the time how many positions they had. I know towards the end of the life coach school closing, not because it wasn't successful, because she decided she was, done with it. I think they had about 50 coaches, but I think at one time they might have had over 100 coaches, but there was thousands and thousands of people that wanted those 100 jobs.
Yeah.
So, and most of them were already filled. So it wasn't like you were, one of five people applying. There was hundreds of people applying for those
Yes.
few positions. So just to put that in perspective for everybody, Thais is
Yeah.
selling herself short there.
But it's true. That is absolutely true. What I think it is also important to mention is that there's not the right or wrong way to make money as a coach. You have the way that you wanted to do. And if that's the way you decide to go for it. But again, there is this identity shift that you need to have to be that type of person or be that person who can achieve these types of goals that you want. You're right. The competition was very high. And also, it wasn't until I shifted how I see myself, how I portray myself, how I believe what I am capable of, that I would be able to get a job there. And again, I got a job with one of the best coaches from the life coach school, when one of the five biggest coaches there. There was also thousands of people applying, and I got the job. So
Yeah.
again, it wasn't a point of, am I a good enough coach or not? The point was, can I present myself and my knowledge and my ability, my skills in such a way where they will want to hire me?
Mhm.
Now, that is the same skills that we need to develop as you're selling our own coaching. So when we build our own business, and there is this shift that has to happen for you to portray yourself in such a way where they will want to buy your coaching. It's not just you selling, you screaming on social media, right? Like, buy this from me. I have this program, hire me, get a call. That's not the point. The point is, can you sit down in such a way and express yourself in such a way and tell them how much you understand their pain, that your ideal client will want to buy from you? And that is a skill. And again, I was one of them too. When we were spending thousands and thousands of money on courses, and I mean, I have certifications in positive intelligence, positive psychology. I have so much that I have learned, but the point wasn't even that. It's not about how well can you coach. It's how well can you see yourself and understand what you do and talk to people in such a way that they will understand. They want to buy from you. That's a skill that we teach inside of your program. I haven't seen that anywhere else.
So one of the things that happened for you, Thais, while you did get hired by this particular coach, and then of course me and several other coaches, that was your career path. You did, in fact, and do have your own business. But what I think is interesting that happened is, and I see this not just with you, but with many, in fact, most of the people that come to work with us, is they actually get confidence, like create confidence, because they get a business built. So they have a website and a brand and an identity as the specialist or expert in this thing. Like they know what to say to people. They feel comfortable about their offer. They know how to have a conversation about selling. Like all of those things actually creates confidence for people in a different kind of way. There is that confidence of like, can I have a coaching conversation with somebody and coach somebody, which that is actually what you're here to help with in our program, is to help people see that you are qualified as a coach. We've picked a niche for you that works, but nevertheless, you actually transformed in our program, I would say, your level of confidence because you got your business built.
Oh, 100%. Yes. I've told this story so many times about the summit. You came up with the very first summit when I was your client. So I got to speak on the very first summit. And there was, a Thais, a business owner before the summit and after the summit. And again, for you to be in a summit, you kind of do need to have the whole business figured out. So if you sign up for the summit now, you kind of have just a few months to get all of those things together, which you help them. And now I help too to get all those things done so that you can sell the coaching. And that is what happened to me then. It wasn't until I had the whole business ready. I had an offer. So it's not just that I'm selling coaching. Okay. I actually could talk to someone and say, hey, do you want to buy this that I have? It wasn't just going to buy coaching from me, right? That is what grew my confidence to even go out there and talk to entrepreneurs and get jobs to work for them. And I have a story that people really laugh when I tell them. I was in a workshop once, this coach is teaching, but she was such a mess. Like, I love her so much. She was such a mess. She was like leaving the workshop to go open her door. And then the dog comes in barking, and the son opens the door and yells at her, all of it while she's live on the call. And then she didn't know how to get some of the papers that she needed to get, some of the documents to send to us. We're watching. And I literally sent her a DM. And I said, you need help, and I can fix 80% of these things for you. So you need to hire me to work for you, because what you just did there is unacceptable in all levels. So to have the courage to actually approach a six-figure coach, a master coach, and say, you are a mess and you need my help, that takes a lot of self-confidence. And I can 100% say that this self-confidence came because I built my business, because I knew how to speak about myself. I knew how to speak about my business. So yes, you absolutely get transformed when you have, for me, it wasn't as much as the website, even though the website helps me tell people, and I am not afraid of them looking at the website because it is beautiful, but it was the offer. Having an offer to me made me feel like I am a coach. It's like now I have something to sell, that it's not just this generic whatever. It was that offer that you helped me create.
Well, and just to help everybody understand, most of you are thinking, well, everybody has an offer like 6 weeks for, $1,000. No, no, no. If you come to work with us, you'll find out the offer is not that. Thais has the word signature framework. She has a process for getting clients results in the thing that she specializes in, which is taking you from having this picture perfect life and being unhappy to living a life that you love in the exact same situation, right?
Right.
So I know I'm probably not saying it exactly like you would, but you have that process. That is the offer that you're talking about. And you can comfortably and confidently say, like, no, I do know there's no imposter syndrome here. I know what I'm doing because
Oh, yeah.
this is my framework.
And we see even with our clients when they come in, I mean, we hear so many times the right, imposter syndrome. Oh, I have this
Yeah.
imposter syndrome. It's like, oh, that's so it's, I mean, I couldn't say this to them, but it's not imposter syndrome. It's just that you don't know yet what you're selling. As
Yeah.
soon as we get all of this figured out, there's no imposter syndrome. But when we start to believe that, I say that when you self diagnose with this imposter syndrome or perfectionism or whatever it is, you start treating that as this is who I am, this is what I have. It's almost like a disease. And it's really hard to get away from this. But when you see that, oh no, those symptoms that you have right now it's because you don't know the skills that you need to develop to then feel the confidence you wanted to feel as you sell your business or sell your coaching. And we have seen this with so many coaches. I mean, you have so
Yeah.
many testimonials of clients who came and was like, I would never post on social media. She was so against social media. She was so against marketing. I mean, how many times we coached her on imposter syndrome? Because she was like, no, I was a career woman and then I stay at home mom for so long. I can't do this. I have this imposter syndrome. She's like amazingly qualified. And then as soon as she learned the process, and she looks back like, oh, actually, I have no fear. I mean, she does have fear, but it's not the imposter syndrome, right?
Yeah.
That goes through that when you know what to sell, how to sell, what to say, that you're not manipulating anyone to buy from you. You actually, your framework for the sales, it's an authentic conversation. Is that what we call
Yeah.
an authentic
Yeah.
conversation?
Hmm.
And that's exactly what it is. Like, let's sit down and talk. Let's see if what I have, like, do you have a picture perfect life? Yes. Do you feel like stuck in this rut, like blaming your husband, but then you know that it's not his fault, or maybe you are jealous that he got a promotion, right? Do you feel this way? Yes. Do you want to change everything? Do you want to like get a whole new life? No, I love my life. I just don't want to feel this way. Oh, okay. So you want to have this picture perfect life and feel fulfilled and content while living in it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have the framework to help you. Do you see how it's the certainty that comes from me because I know exactly how to get you there. But I would know those things or I would think that I have this imposter syndrome. Like, can I really help those people? No, when you put the name to your process and the steps to how you take them there, now you can be fully confident. There's nothing to hide.
Well, and you're not coaching on everything. I think sometimes people with imposter syndrome, when it comes down to it, they're like, what if I can't coach on the thing they bring to the call? And I'm like, you're not coaching on the thing you can't coach on, right? You're only coaching on the thing that is your niche where you're like, oh, I know about that. And I know how to get people out of that. And I know, right? The whole process in the program is around doing only what you know how to do. And there is no reason to feel imposter syndrome if you are being your best you, because nobody else can be you, right? Nobody
Yeah.
else has your perspective. Nobody else can help you. So that's kind of what you're saying. That's where the empowerment comes from.
Yes.
Tice, would you share with me then about your journey when you did work with all those coaches? Again, that was a few years ago. We've been working together, and I was one of those coaches that you were working
Mhm.
with at that time. But this year that you really, I'm going to say in quotes, had it all, like you had the thing that you wanted so bad that everyone was striving for. Can you paint the picture of what that looked like? I mean, first of all, what you accomplished is incredible. I just have to say, Tice, is earning wise and, hireability and all that stuff, you're in the top 1% of coaches in the world as far as earnings and what you've accomplished. I'm sure that if I did some research, that's probably correct. But tell us about that year, what that was like.
It was insane. It was, but again, I had that goal that I would be a six-figure coach. It wasn't even about the money, like having the six figure. It was about being that. I had the dream of saying to people that, oh yes, I am a six-figure coach, right? That was my thing. I don't know why, but that was the thing. And I was working sometimes 80 hours a week. And I'm not kidding. It was like, right, I had to write content to a coach. I had to do a podcast, something for another one. I had to prepare a class for another coach. I had to prepare a whole workbook for another coach. And it was a lot.
And also coach how many people a week?
Oh my gosh. I can't even. I can't even. For one of the coaches, we were doing 15-minute calls or 30-minute calls. And those 15, you would get so many a day. And I mean, your brain is changing because you're coaching on something and then you come to this other person, something completely different. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm not talking to that person. But the mental load, it's so heavy. And it was, my goodness, Debbie, even the group calls that you would have like 200 or 300 people in a group call. So you have all that pressure of seeing the little numbers going up and you need to be fully focused in that one specific thing you were coaching on. It was a lot. And it grew, again, confidence, experience, right? Like knowledge, understanding how to coach in a private setting, the group setting. It really grew me in many ways. And I wasn't even keeping track of everything that was happening. It was just so, responding to what was happening. And I was having fun. I love coaching. I love it. I love everything about coaching. And since working with you, I love the business side of coaching now, which before you came into my life, I hated everything. It was just a chore. And I remember you talking about was like, oh no, I love, the books that I read is all about marketing and business. And I was like, really? From all the books in the world? Is that what it is? And now it's me, right? Like listening to everything, business and marketing. But yeah, it was crazy. So at the beginning of next year, my husband was, okay, it's time to do taxes. Go do your taxes, go do your taxes. And I was like, oh. And I finally sat down to put all the numbers together. And I was like, something is wrong here. Like this is, and then I look at it again and I send it to him. And he was the one who told me, just like, wow, you made six figures. You made it. And I was just in awe. I was like, oh. I knew I would because I was already that coach would make six figures, right? So it wasn't that surprise, like, oh my gosh, what happened? It was so, yeah, of course. And yet it was like, holy cow, I achieved my goal. And then I look at my children and I was like, oh man, my kids grew. They were big. And it was just that realization of, and again, I don't regret anything. I'm not saying that I shouldn't have done, that I wasted time with my little children. I don't have that drama, but it was really the priorities that I had at that time. For a year, that was where I went all in. I'm going to become this person that I really have dreamed for so long. And that was the main priority. And it was awesome. And it was fun. And if I hadn't done that, I would still be in the back of my mind,
Wishing,
that
hoping.
wishing
Yeah.
and hoping. And the worst part, and thinking that I am not good enough,
Yeah.
right? I would always be carrying that idea with me that, see, you can't even do that. So I don't have any regrets. But when I look at my children and I noticed right then how much bigger they were, that was my decision of, that was great. And I'm not going to do that anymore.
And that's when you called me, I think. It's about the same time.
Yes, I let go all the other coaches. I've been with you, only you. and I don't work for anyone else. I have my own clients. I adore my clients. I love my business. I don't want to ever give up on the business side. I love my business. And I adore your clients, Debbie. I just love them so. I cry every time one client
They're
is
ours. Yeah, they're our
gone with the
clients.
program. I cry on the call because I just love them so, so
Yeah.
much. So I can't give up on your business either. But I definitely reset my priorities. And you coached me actually the idea that I can be a full time mom, right? I can be fully present with my children and make six figures. So that was something that you coached me on. I was like, oh, she's right. It's not about one or the other, but I am achieving this the way I want to achieve. It
Yeah.
doesn't have that, the whole pressure that I had put in myself in the past.
Well, that's the whole thing about building a boutique style coaching business is like knowing what you want and then asking yourself, how can this be? You know, a client that we had named Joe, I think she worked with me before you, but she had 4 hours to work on her business a week. And I was like, 4 hours? And she's like, I'm going to have four clients. I got 4 hours. And I don't think she knew how many hours she had to work on her business till I was on a consultation. I asked her how much time, and she was like, I don't know, maybe like one evening or something. And I was like, well, how long is that? So, she did actually achieve six figures in about 9 months. It is possible to do whatever it is you want to do it when you set your mind to it. You do the work that's until you get there. You don't stop until then, but it does have to be like, well, how does that work? And that's why I was saying to you, like, look, it's possible to be a mom and to do all that you want to do and also to have a business that you love. It's possible to do both those things. It's just a matter of deciding how to do it.
Exactly. And it's that while you think it's impossible, and that's one of the things I find a lot of coaches when they're setting goals, making the mistake. They think that, you need to set an impossible goal. So they will go, I want to make six figures, just like I was. And then the first question that comes to their minds is, how are you going to
How?
do that? But
Mhm.
because you still think that that is impossible, the how doesn't have an answer, because how can I move this weekend to Mars? Well, it's impossible. Therefore, there's not a how. But when I start to believe that the impossible dream, the impossible goal is actually possible, and that's where right now I'm ready to believe that I can be a full-time mom. And my idea of full-time mom is that I can volunteer in my children's school, right? I can go to their library every now and then. That's my version of success and being a full-time mom. That's it. And now that I believe it's possible, now I can ask the how. I couldn't ask the how before when I first told you that I made six figures and never again. It's too hard. It's too much. It's too crazy. I want to be a mom. At that point, I couldn't figure out the how did it make sense. But now it's, oh, how? I have so many options. There's so many ways that I can do this right now because I believe that this impossible goal is actually possible. And so now it comes to the next level that it's inevitable. It
It's
doesn't cross my
inevitable.
mind that I might not achieve my goals. Of course I will. Why wouldn't I? I have it all, right?
Yeah. Thais, I want to ask you about the fact that you're from Brazil and you grew up in Brazil. You didn't come to the United States until you were an adult, I mean, a young adult. What is $100,000 to that person?
No one has ever asked me that question, and I have never thought of it. That makes me want to cry. That would be almost $1 million.
Yeah. I remember you saying, all I wanted when I came here was a car.
Yes. In a house with more than two bathrooms.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let alone a very large house with a pool and all the things that you have. Yes. Yeah.
That is true, Debbie.
So you really are $1 million coach, Thais. You
Well,
are.
nice. The million from Brazil. But Debbie, I think that is such a beautiful shift. There is one book, we don't recommend a lot of books, but there's one in particular that we both really love. We've read and listened to, and it's The Gap in the Gain. And what you just said, it's what that book, right, embodies. And it's this idea of I can look at my goal to make, let's say $100,000 or $500,000. And I can look at this and see how far I am from the goal. And that is one way of seeing it. Or I can look back to see the progress that I have made. And that's what you just said to me. I haven't really thought that way before. It's like when you came to this country and you wanted to stay here and you right got married, the only thing I was asking, and I literally told my husband, hey, can I please have a car? That's all I ask you, is that you always have my own car. I don't want to share cars. And in his mind was like, that's the easiest
Yes.
place ever. You want a car? Yeah, he bought me like a $2,000 car. And I was like, I was happy as a clam, right? That is where I came from. And now I'm talking about, I want to make several million reais being a coach, being something that I love so much. That is, who does that, right? But I haven't noticed that reframe until you mentioned it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
I achieved
That's
all of my goals in one call with you.
yeah, yeah. That's so awesome. The little girl from Brazil that didn't even know any better. Because I do think even just when it comes to any of our goals, we have our own capacity limit because we oftentimes can only see however far our glasses will take us, right? To see. While, the lady at the life coach school said, I'm going to make $50 million in a year. In a year, we hear a lot of coaching companies who, in fact, I work with another coaching company that she's made $50 million since 2019, which is phenomenal. But I'm like, in my mind, I was with a coach and we were connected and friendly with a coach who made 50 million in a year. So yeah, it's you can go, what you can achieve is to what you're able to see. And so the
Yes.
little girl in Brazil, I don't know what you thought you were going to achieve when you grew up, but I'm sure it wasn't $1 million.
It was a car in a two-bathroom house.
Yeah.
I'm holding my tears back because this has truly blew my mind just now.
Isn't it so fun, Tice? You got to go have a conversation with your kids
Yeah.
about what you have achieved in your life, because that is the standard. I mean, I know how old you are now, but I would say 50% of your life, your whole identity was shaped by growing up in Brazil. It's not the identity. You've had to create a new identity
Yes.
since you've been, but who you really are is that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It's true. And that's why identity means so much. It's that coming from a different country to this beautiful, wonderful country and being able to really shift how you see yourself. Because if I'm seeing myself as I did in Brazil, I wouldn't achieve the things that I have achieved. I had to shift. And again, it's that positioning. There was one class inside of your program that, you talk about this positioning, this, right? It's your brand, it's your personal brand. It's more than the colors and the logos. That's what you say. And you say it's how you portray yourself, how you present yourself, the clothes that you wear. And even that has helped me in my whole life again to become someone who would be hired by other coaches, someone who can have her own business. And seriously, it's someone who can go to the school that, and fight with the superintendent because guess what? My kid does need this IEP that you're telling me that she has graduated. And right, so even that going up to the superintendent of the school and saying, you need to take her back. She needs the help. When you say this, the little girl in Brazil, this will really help me in many areas of my life because that little girl in Brazil wouldn't have done that. That little girl in Brazil wouldn't have sold coaching for thousands of dollars. That little girl, right? It's so different. And yes, the purity of who I was then, it's still with me. And that is something I prize. I love me, but the identity of how I see myself had to shift for me to be able to allow this life to come to me and keep it and have this. That is the
So
identity.
so good. One of the other things I'm thinking, and it was at the beginning of our conversation where you were talking about having confidence, and I was thinking about one of the things we do in the program, and you're talking about it now, is this whole idea. People always say to me, and I know everybody that listens to these is like, I'm so sick of hearing Debbie talking about how she looks. And I never am talking about beauty. I'm talking about my presence in that I always took this seriously, and somehow I always knew my whole life, It doesn't matter whether you're wearing Walmart or Goodwill or what you're wearing. It's not about the brand. It's about the way that you show up and you have yourself together. And, a new client recently said, you look like you cared about the way that you showed up to me, like I was important. And even just like the office setup that we talk about, like I always say, it can be in your closet. Like people remove closet doors and they make an office out of it. It can be in the corner of a room, but it has to be your space. All of that is like identity shifting things that we see that happen with clients that honestly is like, wow. And that happened for you too.
Oh, yes.
Really did.
Yes. In my private coaching, I talk a lot about the deserve level, right? We all believe that we have this certain amount of happiness or things or whatever that you think you deserve. And again, it goes back to what we were just saying. When I was in Brazil, that I had to share bathroom with my whole family, right? And it's one bathroom per house and one car per family. And I thought that I deserved to have a car in a house with 2 bathrooms. And, like, that was the minimum that I deserved was this, and that's what I told my husband. When we were engaged, it's like, "Hey," right? "This is what I deserve." I do and looking right now, it's like, "Really? From this whole beauty in this country, this is what I deserve to have a car?" And it's not until we grow that identity that it's, "No, I deserve so much more than that," right? So it's growing the deserve level. And with the business, that's a lot of clients come to work with us and they feel like they deserve to have a website or deserve to be able to talk about my business. And we're like, you can deserve whatever you want. What do you want? And it's so small, or it's that too big that it's you don't believe that it's even okay, or it's just small. Can we grow that? I see the edge of your imagination. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can only grow to the edge. Can you grow the edge and truly believe that you deserve to have a big business the way you desire, your boutique style? Because if you deserve that, you can get it, right? We can create that you want. And it's just natural because you expect that will happen to you.
Well, and Ty, some of our clients want a little business. That's one of the other really fun things is people feeling empowered to love the idea of having a little business instead of feeling ashamed that they only want to work with 3 clients, which is what the online space you mentioned bro marketers in the beginning. There's this shame of like, what do you mean you don't want more? And it's like, no, what if that was like the perfect business for you? Like you got to work with 3 people and that's exactly what you wanted to do. That is your version of success and everybody gets to choose that and people feel so much freedom like you saying, "No, I'm gonna pick up like I'm picking up my kids or I'm going to the library." There is like I build the business around what it is that I want. It's not the paycheck necessarily. Money makes the world go round, but it doesn't have to be that. It has to be all of these things that work to create, a happy marriage, happy kids, a business that you love, satisfaction and growth. Like we all are here for growth too. So all those things are possible and they don't have to be massively wild, big numbers to make everybody love their life and to feel so good about what they've done and to change the world.
Yeah. And being okay with what you want. And you're coaching me and you helped me see this because, as I said before, I left all these other jobs and contractors that I had, and it was just you and I in my own business and like your company. And it got to a point where you helped me see that you were not my boss, right? In many ways, I am selling you my coaching too. So you pay me to coach your clients, not because you are my boss, but we have this partnership and it comes across with money. I give something and you give me money in return. And again, I wanted to be a mom and I wanted to work with other clients, but mom was my priority. And it was to a point where I was able to tell you that, hey, I will work with you, but I'm a mom first. So if, kids at school get sick, I get out of a call and I go get them because that's the priority. So even having the ability to have this conversation with you came from understanding what I wanted and making sure that I would be able to sell my coaching to someone who also understands that. right? You wanted to buy my coaching because you understood that, I don't know, yes, she might leave early on a call, but she delivers what she promises me she will deliver, right? She will get me what she tells me she will do. She will treat the clients with love and respect. And that is a big thing for both of us. We do not treat lightly that in someone who invests with us. We both have the integrity of, we're going to take care of you. We're not going to get your money and run. But it's still like that is the relationship that we're able to create when you can see yourselves as, I deserve to have what I have.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so good. Okay, I want to kind of get ready to wrap up, but tell me, Thais, as far as your journey as the client, because this was an interview about being a client and what you had learned and where you've grown and what you're still creating in your business, can you sort of wrap that up? Like, what are you doing and how has that all worked for you? And still, what are you doing? Utilizing what you have learned inside the business building boutique and kind of like what's next?
Yes. So I think the framework that you teach in a business building boutique, it is designed. So the beginning to end, right, is designed for someone who really wants to have a business and has no idea where to start. And that wasn't how I came to you. I already had somewhat of an idea, a little bit, right? I knew that I had to send emails. I didn't know what to write in the emails, but I knew I need to do it. I knew I need to be on social media. I didn't know how to, right? And it's like I knew how to post. I didn't know what to post, how to write. So I didn't come from the very beginning. I had a brand. I had my website was already all set up and it's beautiful. But your program, the way it's set up, it really got me to even go back to the brand and see like, oh yes, no, I do like my brand. It matches with how you're teaching me. And it allowed me to see branding in a different way. You have this ability of really explaining in a different way. So I came in, you literally taught me how to write the email. Like you had an email template that you would say, just change here and here. And this is how you write the email. Right. And so I learned that. And all of the skills that I learned many years ago, it really got me the foundation. I like to say this when clients come to us, it's your program is to build that foundation. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be a beginner, or it doesn't mean that you need to have some experience, but you need to understand that the 6 months program is about that foundation. And then you have the option to stay longer, to stay for as long as you want, and really work on that marketing, really working on how to keep on bringing clients. Because it's not you have the foundation, now clients come. It's you have the foundation, now you can sell. And here's how you sell. This is what you do. And then the clients come. So that is what I still use it to this day. I mean, I was preparing a class for your program about emails, and I was like, oh, yes, this and right. And then I actually created a class because I was using that for my own business. The reason why I was able to teach that specific thing that it was really good, it was because I was using your framework to, remind myself, because let me give another little side note here. I have my 101 practice, which I love, but it is filled and I can't get any more 101 clients. I don't have, you know, I'm fully booked, I can
Mhm.
say. So I am pivoting a little bit to have my group calls that I also really enjoy my program. And I need to sell that now because the 101 sells itself, right? Word of mouth. I have clients who has been with me for 4 years. So I have that going that it's fine. But how do I sell this program? And that's where I am going through your program, right? And looking from the very beginning, it's like, oh, yes, that's right. So I need to start doing workshops, right? I will do workshops once a week. I need to do this. And this is how I promote the workshop. So again, even though I already have a successful business, I already know I teach how to do it. It's still very helpful for me to go back and kind of remind myself when you're doing it for yourself is very different. Right? I
Mhm.
have all the drama that the clients have. I'm blessed to have you to clear up my drama. But yes, I have the whole thing of sitting down with an empty blank page and I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write. So that's why having that base, the foundation of your program has, my goodness. helped me so, so much. So now I sell this program and it's beautiful, it's great. And I have my 101 that I still sell. And it's the base, the foundation. It came from what you taught me a few years ago. It didn't change. It's how you build businesses. There's nothing there that it's mind blowing. This is so amazing. This is so enlightening because it's not the content, right? It's you, it's me, right? This is what I do for the other coaches. This is what you do for me. It's not the content is you need to write an email. Here's how to do. Here's how you set it up. Here's you have all the how to's. But the real question is, hi Debbie, I don't know what to say. Like, what do I say? And then we have the conversation. And then
Mhm.
it's like, oh, yes. Okay. Now I literally feel in my bones that confidence to go and write the emails that I want to write. I think that is how it has shifted for me in my own business. It's the ability to have not just the how to, but have you to really guide me as your coachee, as your client to really get. The goals are inevitable. This is something that we both believe fully. Whatever goal you have, right? That vision that you created, that is inevitable. There's zero reason why you wouldn't achieve the goal. So now it's okay, how do I get there? That's what you help me and you help all of the clients with. It's okay, let's do the journey together. That's what we do.
Well, yeah, and the only thing that changes in this scenario is maybe the timeline gets shifted slightly because a lot of times when we set a goal, Lord knows we don't know what we don't know. And we pick a goal like so many people, in coaching the coach school that we went to, it was like 6 figures. This year I'm doing 6 figures. And I remember because I've been in business for so long. I mean, at the time that I came to life coach school, I'd been in business 21 years. I remember thinking to myself, like, they don't have any idea
Yeah.
what it takes to have $100,000 business. And that is so many people that come to us. It's like, I always say I like to be the truth teller of like, I hate to burst your bubble, but let me just inform you so you understand. So then you quit beating yourself up. Like there's nothing wrong with you. It's like, oh, I didn't actually know that this is what business was and how I would have to do it. And it just makes it so that you can like not only get to your goal probably easier because you're not beating yourself up and you're not thinking I'm wrong. It just makes the whole process like so much more fun and bearable, right?
Yes. Yeah. So
Well,
good.
Thais, what else do we need to talk about? What else do we need to know before we wrap up?
No, I think we should do more of these calls. I really enjoyed just talking to you and recorded and posted. We have mentioned this a few times, like, shucks, you have some good conversation. But I think the main thing I would love to leave people with as your past clients, as someone who has used your framework, who has not just enjoyed, but trusted it so much that I wanted to come here and work for you, with you, is that you, as the client, you need to know what you need. Right? Do you need mindset coaching? Do you need structure? Do you need time management? What is it that you need? Do you need help, like the support building the business, actually building it, not just learning, but actually going out there and building? If that is what you feel like you need that. And you get to decide. You need the time management, the framework, the all of it. And then you come here. It's something that you said in the beginning too, is that you are the one who makes that program work. You're going to come in and get everything you want from the program. And that is how I would approach this, knowing that the goal is inevitable. We don't question if we have clients who wants 3 clients and you have a client who wants $1 million business. That goal cannot be questioned. What else do we need to do here for that journey to be more enjoyable, to be lighter, to be supportive? So I think for all of you guys listening here today, what I would love to share from my journey with you, Debbie, is that when you have the right support, you get to trust yourself a little bit more. And from this place, you get to keep the vision, keep the goal, knowing that it's inevitable. And there's nothing that can really hold you back. Right? You have the support, the structure, the mindset, help, the everything. It's not just on you. Now, this group setting that we have created to help you achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. And it is possible. It really is.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Thais. Thank you for coming to me and saying, hey, you need my help. And hey, you need to do this. Thank you for that. And I'm grateful to myself always for taking chances and for listening to my own intuition and for making changes to do that. And, you've adjusted with me along the journey and I've adjusted with you, and our business has shifted here and there, but that is business and that's life. And I'm so grateful to be on the journey with you. And our clients are so fortunate. One of my core values is that when somebody works with me, they need to have known what it's like to build a business. They need to understand. So nobody gets to teach from theory. Like, oh, I read Debbie's stuff and I know how to do it. Here's what you're going to do. It's like, oh, no, no, no. Because building a business is like, boy, what you have to do mentally to build a business, and people don't understand this until they are doing it. What you have to do is so, so much. So I'm just so grateful to have you here helping with the mindset part, helping me, helping everybody with that part, but also having done the business so you can say, I was in your shoes. I know what you're seeing and I know how you feel about this. So I get it. And here's what you do instead.
Yes, absolutely. Well,
All
thank you
right,
so
my
much,
dear.
Debbie. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me here.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Connect with us on a future workshop. I'll leave those links here. Oh, one thing I want to mention, we have some phenomenal new ways that you can learn from us. I'm going to leave those linked below. We have a niche ebook that's really, instead of taking another little course, you can just grab this ebook. You don't need to ask ChatGPT about how to pick your niche. Just read this book. We have several new things that are ways that you can get just a sampling of what it's like to be part of our world. But anyway, thank you so much, you guys. Have a beautiful day. And Tice, thank you a million times over. And to the little girl from Brazil, thank you. Thank you for being here and for making $1 million and being part of my business too.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day. Thank you.